After the game tonight, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that Barcelona are at the level that we aspire to be, but we've got to do a lot of work to get there. Is that a fair assessment, Liam?
Very fair. And for all, he's done incredible. We've spoken about it at length. They've been on a great run, but they are far, far away from not just Barcelona, but on these shores, Manchester City and Liverpool. And I think that's going to be his remit in the summer, is to get that club back to where it should be, which is challenging for titles, is challenging like some Manchester City and Liverpool. And to do that, he needs to strengthen his defensive areas massively, because they are far behind. And it was always a bonus, this game against Barcelona. The fact they got through against PSG, and Barcelona showed their true class. I mean, Messi's, for me, the greatest footballer of all time. Coutinho turns up and puts one in the top corner. They're always going to be up against it tonight.
But they weren't without some chances, were they, Clinton?
No, that's the difference, Jeff, I think, when you're playing against world-quality players, that Rashford goes in, and it was a great chance. He hits the crossbar, and then McTominay couldn't sort out his feet. He was in. That's two clear-cut chances that they made in the first 5 minutes. And then Messi gets half a chance, because it's not a proper chance. It's a half a chance, and he bends it into the bottom corner. Magnificent finish. And then you don't expect David De Gea to make a mistake like that. Still at 1-0, you feel you're still in the game.
Yeah.
And then he's made a mistake like that, because I think he's probably... They've only got a few world-class players, I think, at Man United. He's definitely one of them. But Ollie's right. It's going to take time. He's done a terrific job, and Man United have chopped and changed with managers quite a lot. He's come in, and looks like... I always think, as a manager, when you come in, if the players respect you and want to play for you, that's the success that you're going to have at the football club. And I think he knows the club inside out. He's one of their own. And I think Man United, they need to spend, though. I think they need to spend in the summer, and not just spend a little bit. They need to spend big, in the right areas.
What are the right areas?
Centre-half, full-back, all of the unglamorous positions, defensive midfield, all the bits that make those attacking players, when they do go and score, you can win a game 1-0 or 2-0.
Definitely.
He's not a bitter ex-defender, is
he? No, he's not. And a centre-forward, maybe.
I look at Man City and
unsung hero.
No, I know, but everyone talks about the good, glamorous strikers all the time, and Man City scoring goals, but their fundamentals are right. They defend properly. They don't concede goals from set plays. They run and work so hard as a team. And if you want to be consistently successful, you need that. Liverpool, one of the fittest teams I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, it's a coincidence, of course, that the results at Manchester United have fallen away virtually since Ole was given the job full-time. But did he not actually massively overachieve to get them to where he did? Massively
overachieved. We're now talking about them being in contention for the Champions League. When if someone had put money on that when he went in with all the chaos surrounding the Mourinho situation, people thought you would be crazy. So we have to remember that and keep it in stock. And he's done a great job to get them. If they get in the Champions League, it's nothing short of a miracle, and they're still in a very, very good chance of doing it. So yes, they've been knocked out of the Champions League to probably a team that's probably, other than Manchester City, the favourites to win the Champions League for me. Ajax look very, very good. Liverpool look very, very good as well. But Barcelona have got the greatest player of all time, and they were up against that and many, many more world-class players. Manchester United don't have that yet.
I mean, you talk about Manchester United there in terms of getting in the Champions League. Now he can turn his attention to that fully. What does he do? Because it's Everton next, then it's Manchester derby as well. With the remaining games, is he just got to go out and try and win every single game, which is the very obvious thing to do, or is he got to be tactical with regard to what he does?
I think that football club dictates you go to win every game. I think like we spoke about a relegation battle, whatever you're battling for now, when it gets to the last few games of the season, you go to win every single game, and maybe it might refocus them on that. Because, you know, PSG was incredible, them going through and everything surrounding that. But their bread and butter as a football club is being a Champions League club. If they do it, he's still done an absolutely incredible job.
Yeah, he's right. From where they were to where they are now, he's done a terrific job. And you can't rotate the team. Man United is one of the biggest clubs in world football. They need to be playing Champions League football. And the players that play there, Chef, need to be playing Champions League football.
You can't rotate. Can players' bodies physically take, at this stage of the season, playing every 3-4 days? And, I mean, they are in a position as well, depending where he rests, as Gary Neville pointed out. I mean, it's between a rock and a hard place.
Well, they
could aid Liverpool or Manchester City winning the title.
Yeah, of course
but they've just got to forget about that, haven't they? And just do what's right for them.
Of course they have. They can't rotate at the back because there's not a lot of defensive options. That's why they need to strengthen. But if you look in midfield today, obviously Matic was on the bench. He could come in. He's a top midfielder. Then you look up the front, Lukaku can come in. So they've got options. They have got options. But if Man United want to get into the top four, you can't rotate too much because you need to win football matches. And their running is quite difficult to try and get into that top four.
Now, you mentioned Ajax there. Another fantastic result.
Brilliant.
I don't think anybody was talking about them at the start of this Champions League campaign, were they?
No, they weren't. But what they've got and what they've had for years, reading about them, I think they've had an academy player start in their first 11 every game over the last 35 years. And that club's been built on young players playing a certain way. Now you've got De Ligt, who's for me is probably going to be the best centre-half in the world. I don't think anyone's going to score against Holland with him.
No, with him and
Virgil
Van
van Dijk at centre-half.
Yeah.
They always produce top players, and they're playing some outstanding football. It's outstanding football. Whether they play home or away, they look like they can score goals. They're a real threat in this competition. They've got pace, they've got legs, they've got technical quality. They're playing great football, and they've shocked Juventus tonight. They're absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant.
Doesn't surprise me, that result. In the first leg, they were really dominant, and Ajax should have probably been taking a lead to Juventus. And obviously tonight, Ronaldo goes and scores, and you're thinking, can Ajax respond? They sure can respond. And Liam's right. They're a young team with full of talented players, and it's a terrific result.
OK, well, they await the winners of Manchester City against Spurs. Here's Pep speaking earlier on today. Interesting that. Pep's appealing to the supporters, saying, look, we need your numbers. I know that their fans have had a curious relationship with this competition,
Yeah.
but for a semi-final not to be sold out is strange.
It's a crime for me. We're seeing one of the best Premier League teams in history playing some of the best football I've ever seen, and they can't sell out a Champions League quarter final. Just incredible, absolutely incredible, and that's something that they need to address. If they want to compete, they want to be one of the biggest clubs in the world, compete with Real Madrid, Barcelona's, the other side of Manchester. If you can't sell out your Champions League game, massive home game against Tottenham, you've got big problems moving forward.
Definitely.
Massive problems.
I'm surprised because you look, Liam's right, the way they're playing football, they entertain, and the world-class players they got there, why would you not want to buy a ticket to go and watch them? And I know it's a midweek, and yeah, maybe
it's expensive.
It is expensive, so I get that. I do get that, but the way they're playing at the moment, there could be history being made at Man City, so you want to go, as a fan, go and see and be part of that.
It could be that some of their supporters are that confident that they'll go past Tottenham.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, even though Tottenham have that 1-0 advantage, and credit Pochettino again. I cannot speak highly enough of the job that he's done there. Any obstacle, they seem to come up. Stadium move, injuries to their best players, bringing young players through, having to play. They always seem to come through, and they're going to make it extremely difficult for Manchester City tomorrow. They're outstanding. Yes, Aguero misses the penalty in the first leg, but I think Guardiola showed the amount of respect he has for Tottenham by changing the system in that first leg.
Sorry, just going back to the crowd. Pep also said today, you didn't know this, Liam, he said, I would like the atmosphere to be the same as it was against Liverpool. Because he's clearly saying this can make a huge difference. Yeah. The atmosphere at Tottenham's new stadium in the first leg was unbelievable. Yeah. No question it lifted Tottenham.
Yeah.
So this is a... Will the players notice?
It makes a difference, Jeff, and I always speak to fans. Say, do we really make a difference? You do. When you that Liverpool game, when they scored 3 goals in the first half at the Kop. Yeah. The Kop was sucking the ball in the net against Man City in that first leg. It was an incredible atmosphere, and they've got that at the moment at Anfield, and that could be the deciding factor in the title race, because the atmosphere against Chelsea was incredible. And when you have that, Salah cuts inside and smashes it in the top corner from 58 yards or however far out it was. The atmosphere generates that, and that Manchester United, they're going to kill me. Manchester City are going to need that tomorrow to beat a Tottenham team that are going to be resolute, resilient, and very, very organised under Pochettino.
He's right.
Exactly that. He said the atmosphere we had when we beat Liverpool at home earlier this season.
It was.
That's what we need again.
And as players, you want to go into that kind of atmosphere, that cold room where it's heated and the fans are backing you, and everything you do, even when there's a tackle to be won, they're up in arms and they're cheering you on. You need that. So that's why I'm surprised that, and what Man City are doing, they're entertaining. They're miles ahead of, not everyone, because Liverpool, I think it's been a great title race between the two teams. They've been the 2 best teams, but Liverpool have got the fans, Jeff. Man City, that are backing them. And that's why I think Liverpool might win the title, just because the fans keep pushing and pushing. And Man City fans, they are, I'm not saying they don't support them, but that's why
they don't have the same passion.
They don't have the same passion. I think they don't have the same passion, and they're probably shouting at me now on the TV.
Yeah,
but show it by going tomorrow to the Champions League game.
How do you see this tie right now? How finely balanced is it?
It's very finely balanced. Listen, in the first leg, a lot of people questioned Pep's team and the players that he picked and stuff like that, and then not making a substitution, not bringing on De Bruyne and Sane to the 86th minute, which probably was surprising. But Pep's a genius. You cannot question a manager. There's always some kind of thought in the back of his head. I think Tottenham are in a great position, being 1-0, but it's going to be a hard, without Harry Kane. Listen, they've got Son in that team and Lucas Moura, who did really well on the weekend, scored a very good hat-trick, but it's going to be difficult. Tottenham will have to defend and play counter-attacking football.
I think the fact they didn't score an away goal makes it even harder for Manchester City, because as much as they're going to want to attack, they have to keep the door shut. And the fact they have Son and Moura, what they've got is pace on the counter-attack. So for as much as Man City want to build and press high up the pitch, they're going to have to keep the back door shut, because if you concede that one goal, you then got to score 3, which makes it very, very difficult. So it's a very, very finely balanced tie. It's going to be really interesting.
Obviously, we know there's no Harry Kane. There's also a doubt about Harry Winks as well.
Yeah, key.
Is he possibly one that's going under the radar if he is unavailable?
I don't think he is. Do you think he is? I don't think he is. I don't think he is under the radar. I think people look at his potential.
No, people are overlooking him. If he's not available, that is a big blow.
Oh, it's a big blow, because when Tottenham lost Moussa Dembele, I always thought they needed that midfielder who can get on the ball and start attacks and drive with the ball. You see Winks driving with the ball. And what I like about my midfielders, he's always looking to go forward into the front man.
As well as that, you need midfield players, especially against Man City, the way they play to cover ground, turn the ball over, win the ball back, and be able to be dynamic in short areas. And he does that so well. We're talking about Manchester United buying those unglamorous positions. He does the unglamorous things so well. People talk about him on the ball. He reads the game so well. He breaks up playing midfield and keeps it simple. They're the players that are like gold dust in a game like this away from home. I hope for Tottenham's sake that he's fit, because he deserves to play in it.
Definitely.
What sort of result would this be for Tottenham Hotspur if they go there and get themselves into the Champions League semi-final for the first time ever?
Absolutely brilliant. That club seems to be riding the crest of a wave at the moment, with the stadium move going through, with the way that the team are playing.
Do you think the timing has just injected them just at the right time?
It has, yeah. And I'm sure a lot of clubs are thinking maybe we should have made more of it and said they shouldn't have moved midway through the season, because it has injected them at the right time. But again, credit to Pochettino, because you're looking at a lot of academy graduates playing in that team. He has faith in you, faith in his system, and it's starting to bear fruit. And you can see why he was linked to the Manchester United job. That's gone, but that's a worry now, because they've got a huge thing to build on with that new stadium and the young players they've got there. They're going places for me.
Yeah, a lot of people wrote them off even when they played Dortmund, said, they won't get a result. Yeah. And they produced a brilliant result. And then a lot of people wrote them off when they played Man City. I know it's only the first leg, but they're winning 1-0. Tomorrow's going to be a big night. And everyone will talk, they will miss Harry Kane. But if Dele Alli's fit, I think Dele can come to the party. Obviously, he took time to build up back to where he was been before with his injury. But he's a terrific talent. So they've got a lot of good footballers that can cause Man City problems on the night. OK, well, they're 1-0 up. What about Liverpool? 2-0 going away to Porto after a fantastic victory over Chelsea at the weekend.
I can't see Liverpool not scoring, which means Porto have to score 4. I think Liverpool go through. I think they'll go through, and I think Klopp, another one that we should be lauding, because he's done an outstanding job there, and they're gonna go through to the semi-final for me. It
is set up for Liverpool, because the way Liverpool play with that front three, they can even just sit back and defend. And when you've got Van Dijk, for me, the best defender there is in European football at the moment, the way he organises, it will be a big night for Liverpool. But when you've got Salah now back in form, and Mane, who's been a revelation sensation, and also Firmino, they can cause problems on the counter-attack. As a defender, you do not want to play against them when they're going forward.
Who's more important to Liverpool right now, Salah or Mane?
Virgil van Dijk.
That wasn't the question.
I love not answering
that wasn't the question.
No, I think over the course of the season, Mane's been more influential. But I think now, when the games really matter, I think you'll see Salah come to the fore, and that's what the world-class players do. You see Messi score 2 today, and Salah's starting to put himself in that level when he's on the top of his game. But Virgil van Dijk's been a huge difference for them, and Fabinho. It's been the difference in the season.
Did he answer the question?
He didn't answer. He's still. You know what he does? He always praises his defenders. You can see that. Van Dijk has been outstanding, but I think Mane, at this present time, I think he's been excellent. Salah had his dip in form, but Salah's still world-class. But Mane, for me, he's delivered time after time after time. And he's one of those, everyone talks about Salah, and he goes under the radar, but now they're starting to talk about Sadio Mane. So for me, Mane is more influential than Salah at the moment.
Ask Clinton the questions next time.
Long way to go, but do we sense an English winner?
Yes, I think this year there will be an English winner. I think Liverpool were so close last year, obviously goalkeeper mistakes and Gareth Bale scoring a wonder goal, but I actually do think this year it could be an English winner. I think that's how good the English Premier League is now. I think that we've got so much English teams in there and we're just producing so many good players. It's a joy to watch, and I do believe it will come from an English team this year.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the year.
You said Barcelona got the best player in the world.
They do, best player ever. But I think in terms of their team, I think now you're looking at Liverpool, Man City. And Tottenham have got a chance. Ajax have got, it's wide open this year, wide open. But I do think I back Manchester City, Tottenham or Liverpool to give anyone a game of competition.
Who's coming out on top tomorrow night then? City or Spurs? Who's going through?
If I had to bet on it, I'd still say Manchester City. I'd still say
I've got a
Manchester
sneaky feeling Tottenham might do it. Sneaky feeling. I can't tell you the feeling, but it is sneaky. And it's a little one.
OK.
You're looking at me like you don't agree with me, Jeff.
No, I absolutely
who do you
respect what
think?
you said.
Who do you think?
We're going to go to a break right now.